got something for the aerosexuals out there. I guess you can add Canelo to that long list of haters of professional fighters who seem to, I don't know, be reluctant to give Errol Spence his credit, or just dislike him, as you guys call it. Canelo Alvarez came out and said that he believes that Terrence Bud Crawford is just a better fighter than Errol Spence. He said, don't get me wrong, Errol Spence is a good fighter too, but he believes that Terrence Bud Crawford is a better, more complete fighter. Now, what number is that? How many professionals, as far as boxing goes, has came out and said that they believe that Terrence Bud Crawford is a better fighter? What is this, like the 12th one or something like that? I mean, you had a long list of boxers. You had Ward, you got Bradley, you got Sugar Ray Leonard, you got Antonio Tarver, you got Mike Tyson, you got Roy Jones Jr., you got, and I'm pretty sure I'm missing a whole bunch, but it's a long list of professional boxers, either active or retired, that has not just sided with Terrence Bud Crawford, but picked Terrence Bud Crawford as the victor and as the more superior fighter. Now, this is what it is at the end of the day, because before then, it was old school fighters are hating on Errol Spence. And like I said before, like, everybody can't be hating on Errol Spence. Do you not think that this is just their opinion? Do you not think it's just so blatant and obviously clear to some people that they're just speaking their mind, and it has nothing to do with them hating on somebody whose legacy doesn't come close to half the people who got an opinion about the fight? It just doesn't make no sense. But you can now add Canelo Alvarez on there, because even though Canelo Alvarez be cherry picking out the wazoo, there's one thing that Canelo Alvarez knows how to do. He knows a threat when he sees one. Okay? He knows a talented fighter when he sees one. And he knows this because he knows how to stay away from it. He knows the people to fight and the people to avoid. Hence, he's fighting the old Triple G. I'm going to digress. But the point is, his radar is pretty sharp when it comes to what threats are out there. So when he said Terrence Bud Crawford is a better, more complete fighter, he's not joking or lying or fabricating on that. And even more important than that, would you say Canelo's hating on Errol Spence too? Is that what you're going to say? As high up as Canelo is, he's sitting on top of the mountain with all the millions of money. Matter of fact, PBC and Errol Spence are chasing him. So why would he need to say something against Errol Spence that you guys would call hate? I'm just saying, you could just add this in another long list of boxers who go with Terrence Bud Crawford. Now, this brings me back to a video that I did yesterday about what it was talking about. Oh, what do you feel about people saying Errol Spence's resume is better? Once again, doesn't that just make stuff worse? Okay? Because let's say, you could say Errol Spence's resume is better. Then how come all the professional fighters, either active or retired, still go with Terrence Bud Crawford? You're going to have to ask yourself why this resume that you guys keep bringing up don't come into play when these legends, from Mike Tyson to Tarver to Roy Jones to Sugar Ray Leonard, are picking the victor or the winner of this fight. How come this immaculate resume is not being taken into consideration? Now, these guys are professionals and retired boxers. They know the game. They know what's going on. They know what they're looking at. So how come this resume thing is not being taken into consideration? Maybe it's not what you guys think it is. Did you ever think about that? Because you have to admit, at this point in time, especially if you're an aerosexual, you have to admit to yourself that something is drastically wrong. Errol Spence got the better names. He's doing the heavy lifting. Yet, not only via internet, but when it comes to professional fighters, everybody's picking Crawford. And every time I look at a pound for pound list, Crawford is on top #1, and for sure he's above Errol Spence. What is it? My man doing the heavy lifting. He beat Chris Algier. You know what I'm saying? He beat Sean Porter. He beat Kell Brook. You know what I'm saying? He's Mr. Big Fish. But how come when it comes to these professional boxers, and how come when I come on YouTube, and how come when I look on these pound for pound lists, Errol Spence is always under Terrence Crawford, or always getting picked, or Terrence Crawford is always getting picked over Errol Spence? Why is that? For the Big Fish, Mr. Heavy Lifter. Why? So that's when you guys bring up that resume. Why is it not counting? That's all that I want to know. Because remember, Crawford got the clown resume. You know what I'm saying? His resume is garbage. His resume, with a garbage resume, and he's still soaring over this dude like an eagle. How is that possible? Ask yourself, what are these guys looking and basing this stuff off of? Because whatever they doing it all off of, it's not because they believe somebody's doing some heavy lift. They just see something in an honest way, in an honest opinion, that either you don't or that you are afraid to admit. So now you can add Canelo on there. And the crazy thing is, I bet you if we was to go down the line, you know what I'm saying, just line all these boxers up, you know what I'm saying, and ask them their opinions on this fight, I guarantee you, the majority, well over half, will be with Terrence Bud Crawford. But the question I got to ask you is, why are they picking this man? What is it that they're seeing that you're not seeing? What is it that you're missing? Or is it that you're ignoring? Is it that what you should see? Pretending like something is not there doesn't mean that it's not there. Pretending like something don't exist don't mean it don't exist. Pretending like somebody is better than somebody else don't actually mean that they're better than somebody else. Okay? Trying to pretend like this resume thing is such a big deal, bigger than what it is, it doesn't mean it actually is, though, because obviously it's not. And like I said before, it's asinine because you're talking about an undisputed champion versus a unified champion. I'm not even going to get started on that because we've already, you know what I'm saying, we've already jumped into that. But just another boxer who says the same thing the majority of so-called Crawford fanboys are doing. And we're not fanboys. We just see things, I guess, like the professionals see it. What you think about that? You know what I'm saying? What you think about it? We just see what they see, and we're in agreement. The only one who's trying to fight against the grain for what you know is true and what you could see with your own eyes and what you have probably picked up by now is you guys. That's it. And at the end of the day, people just want to see a fight. Don't nobody want to argue with you about no resumes and stuff like that. Let's get these two guys in the ring. You guys still want to talk about resumes, how somebody ain't done nothing. And I've been said that time for that talk is over with. We are on the cusp of what we want. Why are we even talking about this? Which, speaking of, like I said before, so how many of you out there still believe that you're going to get this fight this year? I told you it wasn't going to happen. But how many of you out there still believe that you're going to get this fight this year? It has to be by now that you can see that we're not going to make this year. You have to be able to tell that by now. You know, because even if they do, let's say they get it signed tomorrow, they got to find a good slot. They got to find a good month, a venue that's available, whatever, and whatnot. Even if they signed it tomorrow, do you think they can get that done within this year? No, we ain't getting this fight this year, man. I already said that. We ain't getting this fight this year. You know? And to be honest with you, as soon as it get out of this year, because a lot of people are turned off now. A lot of people are tired of thinking about this fight right now. A lot of people are moving on from this fight right now. When it comes to next year, I'm almost pretty much not even going to care that much. Too much time has passed, man. These guys are getting old, man. Old as far as boxing terms, old. And, you know, I want to see some young fire. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired of waiting till these guys mix it up and all this other stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? But what's happening is the promoters and whatever and whatnot, while they are fearing, while they fear making their money back, the longer that they dwell in the fear, the more reality that they bring to the situation that they might not make their money back, because people are tired of what boxing does. Okay? We're tired of it. We have a hot plate of food. Usually you want to eat your meal while it's hot because it tastes better. They keep trying to serve you cold dinner. And a lot of people won't eat no cold food. And that's exactly what's happened to this fight. So if they are going to make the fight, they better get the move on. You know, because I'm beginning to lose interest myself, because anytime you got to beg so hard to get something that should be automatic in the sport, it turns you off. And there is a such thing called as losing your appetite. That's all I got for now. Like, comment, subscribe. Bruce Wayne, I'm out.